so that pseudo penetration isn't there. So it becomes awkward at some points in the game. I think this PA is going to have space. And of course, we've got the Timber in the hands of IMG this time around. And he is, I don't know, how do you feel about this matchup into the Ursa and the CM? I don't think it's as bad as last time.
No, I would kind of agree with you there. I still think that giving up Timber is a scary situation to find yourself in here, but I don't know. We'll see how this one works out. I think that the biggest thing that I'm liking right now from IMG is this Tiny. I think that while yes, this hero didn't receive that many buffs, I think that it was the only reason that we didn't see a ton of Tiny before was because of the strength of the Tusk, the strength of the Earth Spirit. It's not like he was a bad hero in and of himself, and I think that you can get a lot done, even though the majority of the buffs that were given to Tiny were on the side of, more core-oriented things with the tree toss and all that stuff. We're probably not going to see any levels of that until much later for us to end this game.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think this Tiny Shard's very interesting. You know, core Tiny suddenly looks at this Ags, looks at the Shard and goes, okay, nice. I got a lot of options here.
All right, Hustler just got a range creep denied. It's over. GG. Call it off,
GG,
Nomad.
Right,
we're
next.
done.
Go next. Yeah, agreed.
Oh, God.
So yeah, that genuinely used to be the case in the river. We had those, German regens or double damages used to spawn at 2 minutes, and it's just like, well,
Yep.
this lane's over. Goodbye, everyone. See you for next game.
This Timber's build, going for the chain first. No points in anything else. It's doing a good job.
Yeah, you need to be able to get away from these two. This Ursa Crystal Maiden combo can be absolutely deadly.
And Kenji definitely is going to need to be careful as well, because it's one of those matchups where, particularly up until level 6, both of them could go down. And in fact, Mice barely going down here, I think.
I mean, he's still dead. Hustler finds him.
Oh, eat his tree. Eat his tree. Yes, eat his tree. Oh, they did it.
Oh, no. The ultimate bad-mannered play.
So value? You get that extra regen on the Tango? It's sick.
You sure do, Lyrical. You sure do. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, I mean, do we even need to comment on water runes? Also, big question here, right? When you have a water rune in your bottle, it says active regenerate. No, but the rune dot water. But what was in the bottle before then, if not water?
That's a good question, and I think that's something that we're going to need to ponder. Well, so I guess the idea is that the water rune is like this secondary substance that exists, like sort of like how molecules are different from atoms, which are different from I don't ask me about science anymore, Nomad, please.
I didn't. You did that by yourself.
Listen, you baited me. I'm just gonna stick with this line of reasoning. It's the only way I get myself out of this.
Man, this Pugger is bullying the bottom lane right now. Like, him and the Pango. I mean, the Pango hasn't even been doing that much. And he's just got himself a kill. Shoti, he's got himself a solo kill. Like, he's putting down this Nether Ward, and they're like, oh, let's just kill the Nether Ward. And then they take a couple of Nether Blasts, and they realize they don't actually want to take the Nether Ward after all.
Yeah, man. Panel was talking about Bell having a good game, but it's going to take a while before that happens right now. Level 3, but more importantly, only 7 CS on this poor OPA. Show TI put in on a heck of a performance here. 20 and 10, my goodness. Devastating. Yeah. This is
the Pugna game of dreams right now. I mean, I said it was a good Pugna game, but I didn't expect him to be doing this in lane. This is a very standout performance from Show TI for sure.
Right.
Dominant start.
The thing you can watch for there is, oh man, that's an unfortunate situation, just losing those range creeps. You really need it. I want to see what build Bell goes for. Might end up looking for I mean, he's got the Battle Fury queued up right now, but it just feels like maybe you want something to play a little bit quicker with your Timber Saw. Or maybe we'll just see a situation where Bell's off in his own triangle and Timber's around making space for him.
Many thanks.
Yeah, the situation she's in right now is so far from ideal. Meanwhile, at mid, Kawhi getting dived by Gugu currently. Kawhi trying to move around the trees, but unfortunately can't escape the Crypt Swarm. And that's going to be a solo kill in the middle lane for the Death Prophet.
Unbelievable
Very nicely
performance from Gugu so far in this series. These guys look really solid, and this is before Exorcism, this 5-minute mark, still getting a lot of damage onto this tower. This is setting up for either a rotation later from Gugu to try and make a kill happen, Or he could instead just like wait for that, you know, maybe even 10-minute mark to go for the exorcism play. We'll see what he decides to go for here, but it's scary for Qua.
Yeah, this is not the situation they thought they'd find themselves in at this point in the game, and now you need to start kind of thinking about, oh, Bell at bottom, getting pretty low and even shoving to TI here as he gets forced back once again. South comes in, trying to keep their PA as healthy as possible, but man. And the thing is, this is just a Pugna soloing 2 heroes. Like, I don't think I've seen this before.
Right. Yeah, it's not good. And this is what you're allowed to do when Pango moves all the way towards mid. They're going to use the glyph here, maybe? No, interesting. I thought Veteran were going to make a move with that catapult wave and exorcism, but they decide not to. Particularly because they would have had to pull another hero over for the rotation, and level 6 going in, they do have the silence, and that's going to be enough to take this chase down on to Pugna. Show TI in some trouble. Second round of it now. Hustler doesn't have that much left in the tank. Oh, look at the jump from Clay. The big old catch. It's not quite enough there for the kill, and instead, it's going to be cleanup for Gugu. The well-timed haste from God.
They finally bring down the Pugna, but it costs them 3 heroes. I mean, that is not worth it by any stretch of the imagination. Like, wow. Veteran. They are here to play some Dota, and IMG, they're not ready for it.
Oh man, and look at this rotation here, Quad, wanting to make something happen, but he's sitting right underneath a ward. Doesn't even actually have a point right now in Aether Remnant. This is a build that we've seen sometimes NA region, which I think is pretty good by and large, but it's more sent for like sort of farming in the mid lane, it feels like, and it's a little bit tougher to make those rotation kills work. But that does give Bell a little bit of free time to catch back up here on the PA. Definitely needed at this stage.
Very strange. Quirr comes up to the top lane. He's seen on the ward, so he decides to just make a stack and farm it instead. I guess he's just kind of keeping his head in the swivel, waiting to see if anyone makes themselves a possible target, but...
Right.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Well, like I said, it's like they're trying to give a little bit of space for Bell, so he's bouncing between these camps and back mid, but obviously, you know, this does leave the entire bottom lane open for Pugna to keep the move going. And I mean, if they can get this tower, maybe it will be an okay situation, but this is tough.
This could be big. Ursa's in trouble. In fact, he's completely taken out. There is a rotation in from Gugu, though, as he wants to try and fight this one. Doesn't have the Exo. Does have himself 3 points in Spirit Siphon and 4 points in Crit Swarm, so he is a force to be reckoned with. And IMG will respect that and try and get themselves away. Except Hustler, who's linking up with the Timbersaw. They are... I don't know, man. This feels like so risky to try a play here from these two, and it seems like they agree with me. They'll just get themselves back.
Really, really impressive. And I mean, again, I still don't know if that ends up favoring IMG all that much, right? Like, you look at Pugna, he's almost taken this tier 2 tower bottom here, right? Like, I actually think this is a really big problem for Radiant. IMG need to make some type of rotation, but there's no hero that can stand there, and instead, up in the triangle, they're gonna take down Hustler.
He's gone. He's gone. Their big +4 player just being bullied right now. And this is going to open up an opportunity perhaps to go for this middle tier 1 tower, but still no Exo, so, you know, going to take a little bit of time still.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Unreal. They're going to try and make the move whenever possible here. And Ursa, I mean, he's going back for the phase boots now. I was wondering if he's going to go for the full Battle Fury or not. Already has that Ring of Health up. They need to buy some time for this PA to come online. Things are going to be really tough otherwise. They need her to be huge this game.
I mean, my problem here is that this Void Spirit is really struggling to have any kind of game impact. Right. He's moved to top. You know, yes, they get that kill onto Ursa, but they end up getting punished pretty badly. Same thing happened at the bottom. I mean, he didn't even make that move at the bottom. Like, he needs to be making space, and right now it's not happening. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're going to pop the Exorcism to try and bring down this Timbersaw, which they will be able to do so with ease, and now move on to their tier 1 tower as Veterans show up with everyone, and this pushing potential with the Pugner and the Death Prophet is absolutely berserk. They're going to go in here with the Void Spirit, trying to blow up the Death Prophet, and they'll be successful in doing that. But Hustle manages to get himself away as a Life Drain comes out onto him. Qua, he does have himself the Astral Step, holding onto it. He might be punished for that, though. Gets the Astral Step away. He's still chasing on Calais. He's got the Swashbuckle to bring him down, and that's going to be another hero dead. And now comes out the Frostbite onto the Grimstroke. They don't want to get Stroker faded up as the tower will fall. But Shoti does get his life for that as Hustler finds himself another kill here as he sets up for another. And now he's trying to get the courier. Hustler doing work in this fight. And they're going to move onto Calais. In fact, they might even be able to leave the kill for... Oh, never mind. They don't even need to. The crit dagger comes in. Bell gets the kill. And IMG, they don't defend the tower, but they do get themselves some critical kills and possibly the start of a change in momentum for this game.
That was so needed. A couple of really clutch things there. Obviously, the CM Frostbite, you know, that's something that you're going to need. 3 points in it right now to keep a hold of Claw on this Void Spirit. He needs to get that Yule Scepter online to sort of give him that maneuverability that you need. Roots can just be so frustrating to play against. But I think the biggest thing we're seeing there is Hustle's actually having some pretty good impact in this game. Whereas in last game, we had that Bounty Hunter pick that obviously was meant to make some kills happen. It didn't happen as much in the early games here, but he's able to be more of a force in the mid game, and that's what you need to do against the strength of like this Death Prophet Pugna pushing lineup. Toss?
The toss in onto the PA with the Inkswell. Now this is a creative combination, which is going to go pretty damn well for the team. They get the kill.
Very nicely played, and you can see that lower damage on the Pango ulti also gives you more opportunity to sort of stay out of the map. Previously, like 1 or 2 of those bounces, and you know, Bell might have had to go back home, but now he can stay in this lane, start working towards Battle Fury, still behind the Ursa. That's the big problem here, is that Veterans basically just allowed Mice to free farm this entire time, and he's getting super big.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept that if he gets Bell back into the game. That's the thing.
For sure. No, definitely. I mean, that's like, there's no question that this is the right move right now for IMG, but it's just this looming threat that's going to be coming their way eventually. Is an Ursa that I think does quite well against most of their team. We'll have to see how it goes, though.
And I gotta say again, like, I love this hand grenade combo, I'm gonna name it, where you pop the Inkswell, you toss them in, you know, it's like pulling the pin, throwing it in, and just getting that big old stun. Really nice. Tiny, though, might have stayed a little bit too long here in the top lane. They want this tower, and, well, Hustle's not gonna stand in their way about it.
Yeah, that one hurt. The combo of the Nether Ward and then also the Swashbuckle on Tiny, still with 0 armor, because he doesn't have any points in the ultis. Yeah, it's dangerous. And this chokehold that we might start seeing from Veterans soon, they need to find a way on IMG to sort of either A, get down this mid tower, or just, you know, buy some more space, because when you lose all your outer tier 1 towers, the map starts feeling real small.
It does. It does. I mean, I usually prefer it when teams play in this, like, the jungle instead of playing around the top area of the map, just because, like, it's easier to pressure the heroes that matter. But because Bell's been playing so much in this triangle already, I kind of like the tier 1 being taken at top. It's going to open that up a little bit more to them.
Right. You're saying by a veteran, you like that they did that?
Yes, yeah, I like that they went top rather than playing in the enemy jungle.
Right. Well, and like, I mean, it's a Timber Saw down there. Even if you kill him, you don't feel great about it. Who cares?
Oh, yeah. In fact, yeah, I'd almost say that him and PA should probably be swapping areas right now, but then they're just going to kill the PA. So it's kind of a catch-22, you know?
Right.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Dire's top tower
Maybe
is
it's
under
just-
attack.
I see 5 arrows moving in towards the Timber Saw. Timber Saw sensing something's wrong. His Timber senses are tingling. And that... What? did not know
Yule's
that.
doesn't stop the Timber Chain from going through. So they lifted him up, and then as soon as the Timber Chain connects, it pulls him out of it.
Dire's top tower.
Usually
I
use
definitely
that.
knew that.
Usually I only see it, the Timber doing it himself. I usually don't see it on the offensive side of things.
Oh, tried to get the catch, didn't pay off, and now TSL, he's trying to defend this tower, but unfortunately this obnoxious Pugner just blasting away at this tower.
Are scanning.
Smoke up. They're trying to contest this. This is crazy to me.
Under attack.
Look at this spot from Calais here. We might be seeing this much more often as he's hidden in the trees. They actually have no chance of finding him here as he stuns up the backlines. Ursa jumping into the middle of everyone, and this Void Spirit is just frozen solid, silenced up as well now, and he is going to drop. Meanwhile, the leash comes out from Watson as Bell gets involved in this fight, looking for a target, but he's just not doing enough damage to this Pangolier to really have much of an impact. So instead, he goes for the Crystal Maiden. That's an easier pick-off as the sports are dropping. Mike's now in some trouble. They need to be able to close the gap, and they will be able to do exactly that. The PA gets on top of him, brings down the enemy carry, and IMG suddenly find themselves hurtling back in towards the series.
And this is the thing, right? Like, you look at how good that was looking before Hustler gets involved. He did the most damage on his team. You know, the 2 rounds there with the Blink Dagger of the Avalanche toss, and suddenly a couple of heroes are gone. Didn't even get a chance to get Exorcism off on the DP. That is a fight that you will always take if you're IMG, if you can kill the DP before Exorcism.
Yep, and that's exactly what happens. You know, you make a couple of mistakes playing this aggressively on the side of Veteran. You overstep a couple of times. Hustler's there to punish. You know, we saw him getting these fantastic fights going for him. All of a sudden, he finds himself a really early Blink Dagger on this pause for Tiny. And now they're in a world of hurt. He is just dominating these fights, and this is going to be another one as they bring down Calais there with the Inkswell toss combination once more. Very, very pretty. You love to see it.
Scary stuff coming forward now. PA is definitely starting to catch up ahead of the Ursa at this point. He does have his phase in the Battle Fury, but they haven't gone for that, like, you know, Aegis yet to try and secure some early momentum. And now with IMG holding this ward is actually kind of nuts. Oh my goodness. Chase down, maybe a chance here. Down very low on the CM, will die as Hustle lands back down, but Exorcism, and they can just run away from this and wait this one out maybe. I mean, if they're not even gonna lose the Grimstroke, it looks like.
They are going to lose the tower, though, by the looks of it. I don't think the Timbersaw can hold this one, and they'll just jump in with the Nether Blast and with the Ghost. I mean, it was a dead tower walking already, but now this becomes tricky because Veteran are going to take over the enemy jungle. They're going to control its outpost, which now gives XP every minute. And every minute, that's just going to hurt the side of IMG more and more.
So I really want to see what they do with this outpost right here, right? Because since it's just every minute mark, IMG hypothetically can just run back in and take this for the 17-minute mark. And this kind of keeps Veterans stuck down on this side of the map. We'll see how they decide to play against this. But this is going to be a new interesting dynamic, right? Because this bottom side outpost now, you have to make a choice as Radiant. Do you want to defend against this, or do you want to defend against Roche?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Meanwhile, I mean, I guess both teams kind of, depending on which way the game's going, it can be good or bad for both of them with the positioning of these outposts. But you've got this line now on the top side of the map of Triangle, Roshan, Outpost, where you can kind of just control so much.
Right.
It's very interesting, though, as Kenji's overstayed his welcome. He's going to get cut down.
And this is what's sort of interesting, right? Because Veteran, simultaneously, they want to hold on to the outpost, but you can see these heroes pushing out these side lanes, getting a lot of movement out. You know, this has bought a lot of space for Kwa, so they want to play down here to keep the outpost, but they simultaneously don't want to give up all this free real estate to the cores of IMG. This is going to be like a new, very interesting dynamic to see played out, as again, they're fighting around the outpost.
Yep, and that Pugner is very, very dead. Again, one of these huge damage outputting heroes taken out of the fight by Hustler straight away. But that said, they do get their revenge very quickly on the side of Veteran and kill off the Grimstroke. Not a worthwhile trade, though. And that's the thing, like these two, they can do this as long as they want. They can keep making these plays as long as they want, because if one of them dies, it does not matter. Even if both of them dies, like, you can argue that they're making space, they're putting threats. And if they get a core kill while doing it, so much value. This support duo on IMG is carrying them through the game right now.
Well, and I literally, I think it's just this trap. Like, if you look at what's gone on over the last couple of minutes, you know, Veteran has gained the outpost. They've been able to deny that XP, but IMG is actually the one that's gaining XP relative to the rest of them with these kills. This is what they need to do more of, is try and shut down this PA.
PA, can she get the Blink Strike away? No, she cannot. The Rolling Boulder connects, and that is Bell dead.
Now, looking for more. The comeback happens yet again. A really nice timing here for IMG. Obviously, losing the PA sucks, but taking down that Death Prophet, and more importantly, Exorcism with no more objectives gained.
Yes. This is the crux of the matter, right? Like, yeah, it sucks that you lose your PA. Obviously, you don't want that to happen, but no exorcism. Tier 2 tower's still up. Roshan's still up. Like, the veteran, they are really plateaued with their aggression this game. That said, the Ursa has the Battle Fury as well. You know, it's not like IMG just have this PA who's farming out of control. Like, the Ursa's doing the exact same thing, but in the middle, we've got a fight going on.
And it looks like they're going to back out afterwards. Yeah, no decision. My mind is just a little bit blown right now. I'm gonna keep talking about this thing a lot because
That's interesting.
I think that it really changes how you want to play Dota at this point. As we're just gonna see another movement in. Illusion Road.
Yep. Rinse and repeat. Last time it was PA, this time it's Void Spirit, but the Void Spirit's actually going to be able to get himself out of this one this time around.
And Deso picked up for the PA. Chase down now looking for more. That Nether Ward doing some pretty good damage back the way against Timbersaw, and Silence comes out. Do they want to keep going? No exorcism for 50.
Oh, Hustler. He's been caught out. Gugu on the hunt for more. Got the Yules, got the Travels. Wants to just keep on pushing this fight as far as he can. Bell waiting on the high ground. He just wants to try and get as many daggers off as he can. See if he can land some crits here and there, maybe jumper support, but other than that, doesn't really want to commit. No BKB on the PA. That's actually not even going for the BKB. She's got the Aghanims queued up next, which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Obviously a very nice combo, but they're going to go in and try and take Roche at this stage. This is a little bit wild. Veteran, I guess they have Exorcism in 10.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I think this is a good play, but let's see what happens here. I mean, they're all set up. Roshan is already dead. The Ursa's going to be able to take the Aegis, and Kenji getting off that ultimate for a relatively long time in the front lines of the fight. Bell jumps in, though, wants to see if he can finish something off. Actually jumps away over to his teammate instead, and that is just going to put him in the most awkward of situations, although the bash down to the low ground, helping Bell out a lot, and just allowing him to elude the Pangolier, who thought he caught him in a stun lock instead. They'll continue chasing away at this Tiny, but the Tiny gets blown up.
Round 2, go again. Why not? The chase down, try and find this kill onto Pugna. 4 dead. And the only one left alive is gonna be Mice with the Aegis. And this was a buyback that was used by Orpton, but I think this is well worth it. If you can burn through the Aegis now, in a hell of a lot of trouble. The taunt pulls him back in, trying to find that kill.
Turn around. Turn around. He's not sure what he wants to do. He wanted to kill off the PA, but she had the Inkswell going, so he can't make his mind up, and now he's going to get cut down for the first time. Kenji going to be following him to the grave, but much more permanently. The Pugna buying back into this one, wants to make sure that his Ursa is okay, but man, what a series of events. IMG, they're able to kill off the Aegis, as well as every single hero on the side of Veteran, +1.
Unreal. So crazy. Yeah, IMG have been playing around this very well. And you can see, again, just to sort of harken back to it, the pings come out. CM's pinging this outpost. We want to go take this outpost. It's a trap. Don't care about the outpost. Doesn't matter anymore. Nobody. It's garbage. It's an absolute trap. Oh man, I can't wait to see some people actually break this down and talk about the relative values, because this match, I think those couple of minutes where they kept fighting around it, that allowed PA to get into those couple of items, get her Deso done, and now Bell is a problem. This is really going to be an interesting thing to watch, where the rest of this game goes if she does decide to finish off that BKB or just go straight for the Aghanims. I think the lowered cooldown on some of this stuff is going to be really important. The ability to go jumping with the Blink Strike, but this is also scary time.
It is scary time indeed for Bell right now, as he's going to get wrung out of the top lane. And, well, Ward tried to try and help him out, but unfortunately wasn't able to do so. And now they're looking for the +1 of TSL. He's got the Timber Chain away. Those should be absolutely fine as they continue to push up on this top tier 2 tower.
And this is more the tempo that we were expecting. Just keep on working on trying to keep these heroes contained. Don't worry about the rest of the map. Just, take down the towers and then shut them out a little bit, and make sure that this PA can't farm. This is the difference. This is the adjustment that Veteran are making in the midst of the game, where they want to, just make sure the PA doesn't have anywhere to farm. Just run at her. Keep doing it.
Just run at her. Timeless advice, always relevant.
We'll see, though, as Timbersaw is still sort of flirting around this area. PA back up in 2, and I think ignoring that Timber, maybe trying to make the move down towards mid next. They've got some really deep wards here to scout when anybody leaves, but bit of a chase, maybe a chance. Hustler,
Oh,
he's in
sweet
deep.
baby Hustler. He's trying to start the fight, and he is going to get his wish. And without the exorcism, maybe it's good enough for them to fight this one. Kenji's going to be the first one blown up, though. Dagger chasing away at Calais. Bell, he's hungry, he's thirsty, he's looking for something here as the tip chain comes wrecking through to show TI Mice as well, gonna follow him to the grave. These games, I mean, how does every single fight just feel so dominant for one team or the other?
I mean, it's just those ultis, right? Like, as soon as that exorcism is down, it's so hard for them to deal with just again running at you. And the Void Spirit finishing off his Aghanims as well has been a really nice pickup. So dodge when ultis are up,
Radiant are scanning.
or rather are off if you're veteran. And then sort of actually go for it when you've got that exorcism back up. It's such an integral part of this lineup, and you know Gugu has been slaying it here. 8, 4, and 6. Just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard. This tiny is a lot of what enables it as well. Just constant go-go
Yep.
for Gugu.
Go for Gugu. That's what I like to see.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
What about the, I like there's no more 10-second BKBs as well. I mean, it's kind of sad because I love it when people waste their 10-second BKB charge. You know, wasting a 9-second BKB charge doesn't feel the same, does it?
No, not really. Particularly when there's only 4 levels for you to lose out on. BKB
Dire's
definitely
bottom
feels like
tower
it's in a
is
better
under
place
attack.
after that.
Yeah, still a very core item. It's never not going to be, though. It's kind of a fundamental part of Dota 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dire's
I mean,
bottom
some
tower
heroes
is
will
under
be willing to
attack.
forego it, as we can see PA just going for the Aghanims and queuing up Nullifier next instead of anything else, which is
Yeah.
really good this game, but might be a little bit, I don't know, we'll
Extremely
see.
greedy.
Yeah, I think that this is the reaction to Abyssal not having the jump anymore. You need to be able to be mobile in the fight. So to blow up one hero and then immediately get the refresh on all your abilities, I think is really important.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually.
Dire's
It's
bottom tower
might have
is
influenced
under
her decision
attack.
making for sure, but still would have liked to see the BKB for me personally.
Yeah.
I think Battle Fury, Deso, BKB, and you can start to do some real damage, you know, maybe even fight into the Exorcism, because as long as you get the PA on top of that DP +1, you're going to be able to take it down. And the Exorcism make a difference, and they jump on immediately, trying to burst it, but she gets on the BKB in time, and now turns around, popping the Exorcism, looking for revenge here if they can get back themselves out. This might be good, but actually going in the back, Bell and Qua trying to play around onto the back lines here, whilst the Pangolier and the DP are leashed together and walking in different directions. So they couldn't quite make their minds up here. Now Gugu comes forward, great two-man silos, trying to catch themselves something. They want the big target though, they want the PA, and they're going to get it. No BKB, no chance to survive in that one. And Void Spirit could be in a similar amount of difficulty. Blinks up the high ground. Meanwhile, Gugu chasing down Grimstroke. Able to dodge out the Swell, but it looks like Grimstroke might get himself away as the sentry comes out from the Pangolier, jumping into the back. The silence is through. Is it going to make a difference? Calais? Oh, he tried to finish him from the swash, but they do manage to sidestep it on the Grim.
Radiant's middle
Ooh,
tower
good
And
roll-up.
now Cells actually coming forward, but yeah, Rollout going to dodge the majority of the damage, and now gets healed up by Show TI, but now the aggression comes through onto the tier 2 tower at mid.
This is what you want to see for sure. And again, the big thing they got to be worried about is when PA comes back, just don't stick around without that exorcism. So veteran going to try and take this tier 2 tower, likely retreat, get set up for the next Roche fight, which is
Radiant's middle
going to be
tower
where the
has
next point of
fallen.
contention is most likely. So we'll have to watch for that one, see where they end up going. It's going to be a unique situation here though, because this next fight is kind of going to determine what happens. And I think if you're IMG, maybe you try and like force out something on the earlier side once Exorcism is up and see if you can bait it. And then that would leave open for the Roche for them maybe. But it's how they actually play around this is really scary, I think, at this point. If you're Team IMG, you're one team fight loss away from losing a set of racks or two.
Yep, and quick pause out as the CM disconnects. It does really feel like the game is in the balance for both of these teams. I mean, the pushing from the PA with the Desolator is obviously going to be pretty berserk as well, but yeah, I mean, the Exorcism plus the Nether Blast clearly wins out in that situation. I mean, Veterans Draft just feels very easy to play. The one thing they're lacking is that big frontliner, so Death Prophet kind of has to do it, and she doesn't feel super comfortable. You know, you can see she's gone for the Herd, she's gone for the Yules, she's gone for the BKB, all these items to help her survive while she pops as Exo, but when it's down, they just don't have the frontline capabilities, and that's why they're feeling so dominant when that Exorcism's down. Will they be able to avoid the fight in time for the Exo to come up again? And then Roche will be up at the same time? Probably. There's a very short window, it's like 10 seconds where Roshan is up
Right.
and Exodum is not up. But actually, no, that's not true because this Roshan may respawn. Ignore me.
You're ESPing that it's gonna be an instant spawn. I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah, it is. In fact, it's going to be exactly in time with Death Prophet ulti.
I like that. It's a bold call. You're calling your shot. That's what I like to see. Yeah, I think this is going to be this moment that's like super game defining because I think if veteran get Aegis and they're able to just like throw that onto this DP, or maybe you go on the Ursa instead and you give cheese to DP. Whatever the case ends up being, like this is a pretty simple push down of towers. Then on the side of IMG, they still have so many of these objectives that they need to take down that it's a little bit scary, right? Like you kind of need to win like one, maybe a fight after the Aegis as well to make it happen. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I think so much of this game rides on this next Roche fight, and the fact that the PA doesn't have a BKB for it does concern me greatly.
I'll never fear. Doesn't need a BKB. Easy game. Don't worry.
There's a Pangolier and a Pugner in the game.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy, man.
PA doesn't need to right-click people. It's fine.
The Ursa is also an interesting dynamic because for a long time that Abyssal Blade was sort of the answer to the Ursa problem of needing that one extra item, right? And now that's not really the case anymore with the having to have a blink dagger to get on top of somebody, and Abyssal Blade being in melee form. He's queuing up the MKB next. He kind of needs these other heroes on his team to keep those people in place. And when BKB comes out there isn't really an answer to that.
Yeah, he wants to bully the PA if possible. But yeah, I mean, even before this patch, though, we saw the Ursas choosing to go for the Blink Dagger into Basher rather than opting for the Abyssal Blade, so I don't think the Ursa's build is massively affected. Obviously, in the late game, when he does complete that Abyssal Blade, it's going to feel a little worse for the Ursa.
Right.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, not going to make a huge difference to his critical timings, that's for sure. Smoke up from Veteran. They are on the hunt. Unfortunately, this jungle's pretty empty right now. See, again, like, taking this outpost here, obviously you're like, well, there's an outpost, might as well take it, but the information you're giving out for it just doesn't feel worth it, in my opinion.
Well, this is the one other situation where I'm wondering if this is another adjustment that they're making to this whole outpost game, because on the one hand, yes, you're not getting much out of this, but now I'm wondering if they're trying to bait Radiant into showing back on this outpost to give them a clear shot at Roche, right? Like, let's say that IMG showed 2 heroes down here. Now all of a sudden, Veteran know that they can move into the Roche pit and don't have to worry about it. You can see that this leads us to IMG needing to make a decision. Do we go in there and take it, or do we come and contest for Roche because we know that it's about to be back up? And they have to come and contest for Roche.
They do.
They can't afford to
no choice.
showdown there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Veteran are looking for heroes up here, or they are actually avoiding, but they're going to immediately blow up that Crystal Maiden. She just gets absolutely destroyed as Quad jumps through onto the back, just bullying this Pugner, trying to keep him out of the fight. It's a leash, a beautiful leash onto both the Pangolier and the Ursa, meaning that they just can't get off their spells. They're completely controlled up with the Exorcism on the back. He's on top of the PA, trying to chase her down with that silence, but the PA is able to walk herself back. Gugu does not have the support to make any plays in this fight, but the Exorcism is going to work. The Focus comes in and chops him up. The crits come through, and the Death Prophet is dead. 65 seconds, and no Exorcism in this fight anymore. Gonna make it very difficult for Veteran as Kenji gets brought down once again. Bell is taking no prisoners. The Eels comes out onto the Pugner. Chip, chop, there goes another. Whirling Death puts an end to the Pugner.
What a sick crit right at the perfect time. That's a game-winning crit right there. You just pressed the button, the crit button, and made it work. Holy moly. Like, if DP lives there a couple more seconds, Grimstroke's dead. Immediately afterwards, I think Timber is probably starting to get into a little bit of trouble as well, and now they have Roche open to them. Again, bottom is a trap. Stick around Roche. Doesn't matter about this outpost. Just stay in this area. And now they can claim both of them on top of getting Aegis, Cheese, and the Aghanim Shard. What a huge, like, decisive win here for IMG, trying to keep their hopes alive in this grand finals. So needed.
Very much so. And who does a shard go to is the big question on my mind.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see what
Timber,
decide to go for.
timber, timber.
Is it Timber? He had it queued up.
Oh, yeah, get it,
Radiant's
boy.
bottom tower is under
All right,
attack.
I'm down. That's pretty
Hell
hype.
yeah. Hell yeah. Getting ourselves some flamethrowers, which now works on buildings for some reason.
Radiant's
Yeah, 'cause
bottom
why
tower
not?
is under attack.
I mean, and
Why
now
not?
you're taking this fight, and there's no exorcism, right? Like, this is the moment right here where IMG can really, just take a gut punch to him. Veteran have to be so careful. Gugu can't be here. They pinged him out. They know he's in the area.
Buddy, that is a no death profit zone, and unfortunately, Jesus Christ, she's just completely eviscerated by the PA. And now Kalei comes rolling on through, controlling up the Tiny as the next target. Meanwhile, the Link together holding back both the Ursa and the Pugna. They have popped the BKB on the Ursa to try and run themselves forwards. Maybe they can still make a fight out of this one, but it just seems so damn difficult as they lose out on Kenji as well. They will lose their Grundstroke, but I think that's just about it as they turn around and just completely destroy hero after hero. Oh, hey, Ursa, you trying to get away from this destruction path as well? Not happening, although there's a nice disarm coming out, but it doesn't land onto the PA. That's the important target, and she's going to be able to bring down Mice alongside the Timbersaw, and now up to the high ground they go with the Pangolier. It does look like Veteran are able to at least keep a couple of heroes alive, but man, this game is looking tricky right now.
Yeah, it was actually, you know what this was? It was the Aghanim Scepter for Bell. They almost didn't get that Ursa, but purging off the lucky shot. That's what kept it. They did get the disarm, yeah. And the evasion, the blur makes it work. And now you're in a situation where going high ground, they don't have the Ursa for another 60 seconds. No buyback at all. I think at this point you just chill. Go back, clear out the other ones of these camps, get the outposts, and sort of spend your gold. 11k gold up. This is what I was talking about. I can't believe the DP was there at the fight. Like, Gugu just got super greedy. Gugu greedy.
Yeah. Greedy Gugu, naughty boy. Man, IMG, they are on the precipice of coming back into this series. 11k gold up, 34 minutes into the game. This DP, she needs some armor. They're just going to go again. They've got a nullify.
No.
They need to try and save her. The craft fight comes out, but it's too little, too late. Gugu falls once again. It's like deja vu here in the middle lane for Gugu. That's now Bell up onto the high ground. Craft fight comes out, no worries. Reflected back the Lotus. Oh my god. I mean, that can't happen.
No. I mean, I think that part of that also is the reveal of the nullifier. Pretty strong answer to, most of the DP was there. You could have BKB, obviously, and tried to get out of there, but at the same time, you've got to, gotta just play it a little bit safe. I think that was a situation where they felt like, okay, we have Exorcism, we're strong, they can't go on us, but the dynamic of the game has changed. They can't leave their base now. They just can't.
And in they go, they immediately make a decisive move on to the Void Spirit, and that was a very nice play from them. Going to force IMG onto the back foot. TSL will be their next target. The Ursa is disarmed, but no longer as he tears him apart. Being on the back, Bell's gone in.
Oh, finds one, needs to jump out. Aghanim Scepter, working well for him. Still has that Aegis. Bell, turn, blows up Kenji, 1400 in the face. And now the turn onto Ursa, triple kill for Bell. One by one, they fall out of mana. The only thing stopping Bell right now from the ultra kill. That and a little bit of a right click griefing from Warped In. But 6 stuff from IMG.
Really beautiful plays from Bell here. He's even kept the Aegis through this entire damn thing. Did you see how low he got in that?
Yeah.
My god.
What a god.
Yep. Out. Bell taking no prisoners. And now in we go up to the high ground. IMG. They won't be finding anyone right now though. Spell's being thrown from the side of Veteran.
And I think this is an instance where, we were sort of harping for a little while on the BKB, but we're seeing, part of the reason why this Aghanim is so good. It's the lucky shot for Pango. It's really annoying for cores, but it's dispellable, and, PA has a relatively low-cost basic dispel in this blur. It's hard to deal with.
Wait, 10-second cooldown on 50 mana is relatively low cost for you?
Yeah, right?
Wow. I want to hear what's definitively low cost.
I mean, that's just that European caster that we got, right? Right. I'm sorry.
I appreciate it. That's very on brand for him as well. That was he would appreciate that one.
Exactly. Well, 37 to 26, and the Aegis just now going to be reclaimed, so PA gets her mana back, and you can see that gold swing. Man, what a turn! Unreal.
Absolutely. Really admirable performance here from IMG, as we thought they were going to get counted out twice in a row, and it was going to be a very disappointing grand finals, but IMG have turned up, and they're making a spectacle of this game too, as they turn it around on the back of this PA, and what a pickup this Aghanim's was. I mean, I put my hands up and say I completely underestimated this Aghanim Scepter on the PA. Like, it was such a good pickup, and yeah, fantastic.
Queuing up the Abyssal Blade next as well. And this is where the Ursa just feels very anemic. Does have the blink with the MKB done, but they need to get on top of this PA. And again, the next Roche fight is probably going to be where we just see some more of this action break out. But you can see Veteran respecting the strength of IMG, and they're prepped for another push, but don't want to sort of make any assumptions that it's free for them to just leave the base. They still have that outpost, though. Wouldn't mind seeing Radiant take that one away.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing a little bit scared. They still respect them. That's the biggest thing here. They still respect this exorcism, as they should. There is a possibility that PA doesn't get on top of the Death Prophet in these fights, and then things will become awkward very quickly.
Ooh, Minotaur Horn for Bell now as well. Let's go.
Oh, here we go. Both trains are on the same track, but heading in the same direction. Whoa, no, never mind. Someone's pulled the lever and forced one train to veer off to the left and miss by inches. Neither team coming into contact with the other.
God, these wards are so good.
Dire's bottom barracks
It's
are under
kind of
attack.
crazy to me how strong these ones are. They do take back that outpost, but that opens up an opportunity here to push. They're going to wait for somebody to TP. This is huge.
Oh no, and it's a DP once again, caught out with her pants down once again. This can't keep happening, Lyrical.
Unreal. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. Like, as soon as we saw it, like, somebody's going to TP back, but it shouldn't have been DP. Like, that's a CM TP back, right? It was just creeps.
They just didn't see it coming. They big-brained them here. IMG getting some revenge for game number one. And now Quad jumps in. He's got the BKB though, so he doesn't care the DP buyback, and they just shifted into reverse here on the side of IMG.
I think that this PA is really, really good at punishing these slight little inefficiencies, these like tiny moments of like, oh, you know, we're just going to send one back, or we send everybody back, but we're going to send the DP first. And you feel like you should be safe, but IMG doing a great job of recognizing that weakness, and they just exploit it to the maximum potential. Now they're stuck in their base again.
Radiant are scanning.
I don't know, man. I actually want to see like a blink dagger or something in this CM. You know, abuse the fact that Bell didn't have this BKB. What the? You can't do that. Apparently you can. Can they punish? Surely they can punish. Stun comes out. Yules is there as well from the Pangolier, keeping Bell locked down as he pops the Minotaur to try and get himself across back to help out his team. But Mice, he's at the middle of this fight and he's looking to get on top of this Phantom Assassin. Can they bring it down, Lyrical?
Oh, just quite. They do. They bring him down, but the huge damage coming from Qua. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, as they've already lost three. A couple more left.
Oh my goodness. Qua goes down, just hanging on the edge there, Veteran. They keep their heroes alive. The exorcism keeps on going, and everyone is just able to barely clench out the fight on the side of Veteran. It was so close, but Roshan, he's up and available. We need some buybacks from IMG, or they're going to give away this Aegis.
Yeah,
Although, are they actually? They don't have their Ursa.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They still need to push out these side lanes. There's still some time. It was a relatively low Roche respawn time, but you could see in that moment as well, just like the big thing that's important to watch is where is this PA? Is the PA the one that gets gone on first? And they were able to keep her isolated in that little corner with the Pango. You know, it's this battle of PA versus Death Prophet, really. Like the Ursa almost to me feels like on border of irrelevant. Like he still has a lot of damage, still really strong, but this fight's about the DP and if DP gets bursted at the start or not. Now with an Aeon disc, that's really nice.
I mean, that's what I mean. This PA did massively overextend in this fight. You know, she was so thirsty for that DP buyback. You know, she wanted it bad, and unfortunately, her own greed led to her demise, as is often the case in this cruel video game we call Dota 2.
right? Oh, and they get a flicker now. All right, that's super high tier. Who takes that? I feel like DP should take it, but they might give it to the Ursa. Interesting. We'll have to see what they decide to do with that. But now with DD online, you can't give this to the PA. They're gonna start trying to take down Roche. This is scary. Still 20 seconds left until Exorcism. I think right now, if you're IMG, you need to think about like really trying to push the tempo.
Veteran, they're into Roche, but meanwhile in the back, they're just going to blow up Show TI. It's a race. Can they bring down Roshan in time? Wait, they don't know. IMG, they're just not expecting this Roshan to go the way of Veteran, and Mice is going to be able to claim the free Roche, and all the goodies spill out onto the floor as he takes the Aegis, he takes the Aghanims, and now looks to completely destroy Kawhi. He is gone.
What a sick play right there. Double daggers go out, but the lift up with the Yule Scepter is going to catch onto the Grimstroke, and the strength of Ursa getting that DD tended right into the pit and then immediately able to take down Roche. He does have the Aghanim Scepter. He actually took it himself. So a really big Ursa right now. He's on the level with the BA.
He's back into this game, isn't he? And this Enrage with the Ags is, I mean, it's not the most amazing game for it, but it's always pretty damn good. Just allowing you to escape maybe a combo from the Tiny or something like that, or a toss back would be good. There we go, breaks himself into the air and comes back crashing to the ground as the Tiny is actually into trouble with Bell onto the backlines, trying to block the supports as he kills off the Pugner. Now looking maybe over towards the DP, but that Exorcism is still going on here, and she's got a cheese. She is so healthy. The Ursa's first life is going to go. The team need to stay around and make sure he can survive for round number 2, and he absolutely will. But the DP gets bursted by Bell, the backlines. Quar and Bell synchronizing up absolutely beautifully to take down the DP, and now the Ursa shall fall as well. Veteran, it was looking so good until this moment here. Now we could be in some real trouble.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, again, it's just like this literal assassin jumps into the back lines. There was some control that existed for a bit, but only a second. And I think that Blur is part of what makes this so difficult to play around, right? Like, you don't have a clear line of sight onto the PA, and she's able to just jump in out of nowhere and found the DP. There was a little bit of Exorcism left. I think it would have been enough to take down one or two of those heroes, but it just didn't happen. And now, with no Exorcism, no buyback on the Death Prophet, this might finally be the time for IMG to close this one out.
Yeah, they have the Ursa buyback. They're picking the tier 4s though. They want to go for the end here on IMG. Can they close this game out?
This is going to be a close one to watch. I mean, interesting. I mean, I guess that they might not know Death Prophet right now does have no buyback because of the timer, as well as a little bit of gold. So they should know about that one. Pugna buyback as well, but you know, play it safe. This is grand finals. Their life is on the line. They want to win this one. The team and country, but we'll see if they're going to be able to do it now. A little bit of time left. The Pugna's going to be up, and they also do have a glyph for the tier 4s.
This team is not on the same page right now. You know, the Timber's like, guys, come on, just take the tier 4s. The rest of the team like, no, get the Megas first. Then we can maybe think about tier 4s. I think DP's going to be up though, 17 seconds with Exo. They need to respect that. So the game's not going to end yet. Very hard for them to come back against the Mega Creeps as Pugna tries to go in, but immediately getting jumped on by Bell. Bell's going to try and blow him up with that nullifier. His items do absolutely nothing, but Calais, he's going bowling and he gets a strike as he runs through all 5 heroes, but it doesn't matter as Bell jumps the backline, kills off the support. Qual will fall at the very least, and that's a dieback from him. If they can find more here, this could be good, but Bell jumps in, controlling up the Ursa. The Ursa is gone. He fights back. He has to, and Gugu's running in for this one as well, popping that Exorcism onto himself, but Bell gets onto him almost immediately here as, oh no, the Ursa just gets blown up. He just gets tossed into the air. Was that a buyback into the Tiny? Toss? I think it might have been, and Bell just completely running through this Death Prophet. I think this game might be over.
One last time again, GG called, but I have a feeling they're going to give the ultra kill and turning it into the Rampage for Bell. What a performance on this PA. Absolute god.
Absolute destruction from Bell there. Yeah, really, really good comeback from IMG into the series, making it a 1-1. It wasn't a sudden comeback, you know. In that early game, we really did think that they were going to be able to